between Shea Ahern and Cassidy Spillis. Worth noting right off the bat that Shea Ahern for Maryland, one draw control away from a career 400. Some other records available for Spillis on the day, too. Maryland will have the first offensive possession. Spinning forward is Nevo Farrell. And the number 20 for the Terrapins. Nev's younger sister, Kate, is actually on the Rutgers bench, and we have a very early green card issued. And Alexa, when we look at those green cards, it's new this season. There's a lot of rules that is really kind of changed how teams approach the offense.
Yes, so with the green card, basically any foul within between the two restraining lines, which are the 30-yard lines, automatic green card, 1 minute you have to play a man down. And I mean, it's really caused teams to be less aggressive in the midfield when redefending because they don't want to risk playing a man down on defense. And
now Rutgers will have to do that right out of the gates here against the Terps, who have been very successful in that area this season. Here's Corey Edmondson up top to Hannah Lubecker, who leads the Maryland Terrapins in goals. Feeds to her right. Now behind the cage for Elle Clevenger, pulling all the strings, the quarterback, if you will, and Maryland will get the shooting space call and an early opportunity here for Corey Edmondson, a sophomore out of Severn, Maryland. One of many Big Ten recognized for Maryland this season. And Edmondson right into the stick of the senior goalie, Sophia Cardello, for Rutgers. Cardello is third in the Big Ten with a little under 11 goals against average. And Rutgers will see this one out and allow teams to head back to even strength. That was Cassidy Spillis who was issued the early green card. And now Rutgers will have a go. Attacking from right to left in the all-black uniforms. All the way over to Alexa Corbin out of Miller Place, New York. Rutgers looking to get something going quick here. Here's Spillis. Forced back out, draws the double team. Rutgers bench wanted shooting space on that one. They won't get it from the referees. Here's Dixon. Now Dever. Forced to go to her left. Spillis trying to spin away. A shot, an early goal for Rutgers. Who else but Cassidy Spillis? The fifth-year leader opens the scoring for the Scarlet Knights in the Big Ten quarterfinals.
And we'll take a replay look here. You see she's really 1v1 with Kennedy Majors, able to shoot over top of the stick, bounce it right past Sterling. And we could actually hear in the booth Maryland's bench calling for the help. Spillis took advantage of the fact that no one from Maryland slid over to help Majors force her out.
So now Spillis just one goal away from 70 on the season. Alexa, you talked about just how important she is, essential to Rutgers' offense, and she will, right after that goal, head back to the draw circle where she's chasing history herself. Coming into today, she needs 5 draw controls to become all-time in program history. Well, you know who's all-time currently? Megan Ball, who's playing for Maryland today with 308. So Spillis comes in with 304. An easy win for Shea Ahern, and she is at a career 400 draw controls.
And that draw control right now puts her only 21 behind Callie Hartshorn, who's currently 3rd overall in Maryland program history. Ahern just picking off one at a time each season to get higher in program rankings.
Edmondson ran into some trouble there, did not get the whistle, and the Scarlet Knights will be able to come down the other end and look to add to the lead. Not exactly an ideal offensive possession for Kathy Reese and the Maryland Terrapins following that early concession. And you see here, Alexa, exactly what you were talking about, just how careful the team on defense has to be when playing in between these lines, trying to avoid that potentially deadly green card. Here's Michaela Dever. Now up top for Ava Chiarella, her first career hat trick last game, and a loss to Vermont to close out the regular season for the Scarlet Knights. And here is Chiarella, and she will get the call in her favor. So Ava Chiarella from the 8-meter on the left side hash mark, staring down the eyes of Sterling. Whistle goes inside, and that one is no good for Rutgers. Batted around on the far side before eventually being scooped up by Maryland. A big-time defensive stop for the Terps. Then again, Nevo Farrell on that far side doing the dirty work for Maryland.
I mean, a great effort from Maryland's entire defense, every single one of them chasing after that ground ball, not wanting to give Rutgers another opportunity to shoot.
And they are crediting Sterling with the save on that attempt, and an errant pass for Maryland on the other end. And again, the Terps will have to track back. What have you seen from Maryland's offense? They've had 3 possessions, but 2 of them have gone by very quickly.
I mean, I think they just need to take a deep breath once they get on the offensive side of the field. Clearly, we saw 2 just quick, throwing the ball out of bounds, shooting right into the goalie's stick. And I mean, even on the 8-meter shot, Corey Edmondson shot right into Rutgers' stick. And it's just, in this game, you want to take a deep breath. They're getting good stops on defense. Take advantage of that on the offensive end.
It has been a long build-up for Maryland. They've had 4 extra days rest compared to Rutgers coming into this game. And here is former Scarlet Knight Megan Ball charging forward. Forced out on the right, and what a story that would have been. But perhaps the smart move from the defender, not always a nose for goal. But certainly a big-time play as she jogs back with a smile across her face. Maryland will look to be much more careful in this offensive possession to maintain control of the ball. Here's Lubecker at the top. Draws a double team. Passes to her left. Edmondson pulls it down. Almost at Hartshorn. She's not there yet. Here's Lubecker through traffic. Inside. That one flashes just wide of the left post. And it will stay with the Terrapins. Here's Clevenger. Spins back to the far side of the cage. Feeds into the middle past the outreach stick of May. But here's Lubecker. 40 seconds for the Terps on the possession clock. Lubecker, low shot again into the stick of the ready Sophia Cardello. Talked about how successful Cardello's been in goals against average this season. She's also 4th most saves in program history for Rutgers. So another empty offensive possession for Maryland, and the Scarlet Knights come down the other end. As I started to say, Maryland's had 4 more days extra rest coming into this game compared to Rutgers based on when they played their last regular season game. And sometimes that can be a good thing, having that rest, but also can let you get in your head a little bit more. So when it comes time to get back out on the field, you might be amped up a little bit. Another save there. The follow-up somehow stays out. Emily Sterling, always difficult to beat for Maryland.
I mean, just talk about being alert. Right there, had a phenomenal save. Rutgers gets the rebound, and Sterling is right there to turn around and get another save. This is why she's so successful for Maryland, because she's so alert.
And storming forward was Sophie Hallis, another defender that transferred into Maryland this season. Her from Colorado. She started all games last season for the Buffs. Here's Victoria Hench now out of Howard County, Maryland. A bit more methodical approach from the Terrapins here. All the way over to Corey Edmondson. Now Lubecker. Forced over to her right. Finds the stick of Chrissy Thomas. Now feeds into the middle. Shannon Smith able to pull it down. Back to Thomas on the left hand. Feeds inside. May pulls it down. Didn't have a ton of room to do anything with it. 30 seconds for Maryland. Smith surveying her options. Likes to back it out to Hench. Now Lubecker. And they're going to call 3 seconds here on Rutgers.
Kathy Reese calling for
our broadcast position right on top of both benches.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Ahern now at 4:01 for the Maryland Terrapins in career draw controls, and we're going to get a whistle here. when you look at the quick start for both teams, that's probably favored Rutgers because Maryland took a little while to get going on offense.
No, and I mean, really, it was Maryland hurting themselves. They were making too quick of a decision. They were not taking their time on attack, not moving the ball around. And right there, you actually just see it. A big caused turnover for Rutgers. That was Cassidy Spillis with the check against Chrissy Thomas.
So Rutgers trying not to fall to Maryland for the second time this season. You know, they say it's always difficult to play a team twice in a given season. There is a bit of familiarity there. I'm talking to Kathy Reese the other day about that. She said, well, they played Rutgers so early in the conference season. That was back on March 24th. She said we weren't at our best yet. And so they see this as a completely different game coming in. And so far it has been with Rutgers out to an early advantage. That one knocked around and still fighting for possession. And eventually Rutgers comes up with it once more. Corbin again. Here's Michaela Dever. 3 goals and an assist on the year for the senior. And 30 seconds on the possession clock for Rutgers. A Terp takes a tumble, and that one goes into the back of the net. Rutgers leads by 2. The Scarlet Knights are out to a red-hot start here in the Big Ten Tournament quarterfinals.
And we'll see a replay real quick. Right there you see the Terps huddled up right there. Maddie Sterling fell. Rutgers takes full advantage of the man down right there and able to break the Terps defense and avoid going in the crease. I mean, definitely an opportunity Rutgers took advantage of and gives them the 3-1 lead.
That was Peyton Teeney, the freshman out of Bayville, New York, who scored in the first fixture against Maryland this year, back in March, as we mentioned, and she has a second against the Terps here today. Rutgers leads 3-1. Terps have had the advantage in the draw circle, 3-1 so far. Shea Ahern surpassing 400 career draw controls. And again, Spillis trying to surpass Megan Ball for program history for Rutgers. A fairly comfortable win there for Shannon Smith and the Terrapins. She missed a little bit of game action a couple weeks ago. You see that leg wrapped up, but she is back to health, and Kathy Reese is very glad about that. Another weapon at her disposal. The Terps down by 2 here, looking to claw back into this one early on. Here's May. Haven't said her name too much so far in this one. Here is Chrissy Thomas. Talk about those 10 goals in the last 4 games. Red-hot form for the senior. Here's Hench now. Shot fired again. Another great save by Cardello. A brick wall at the back for Rutgers so far in this one. Following that, she's up to 5 saves already. Now the ball and potentially momentum back with Maryland.
For anyone that just missed it, Eloise Clevenger, phenomenal redefense right there, actually forcing the turnover for Rutgers. Rutgers player tried to pass it back to Cardello, and Clevenger knocked it out of bounds, making it Maryland's ball since Rutgers in the moment had possession.
Under 3 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Rutgers out to a 3-1 lead over Maryland. Of course, would love to bring this on level terms before the break. Here is Thomas. Goes left to Smith. Working on the right hand. Passes all the way over to May. Coming inside on the left hand. And again, another save, Cardello. And we are going to have another whistle here. We'll take another look at that save.
I mean, just a phenomenal job by Cardello, just moving. I mean, she's been all over the cage. Maryland shot high, low, sides, and she has been there for every single one, really giving her best performance to keep her team alive in the tournament.
And so Hannah Lubecker picks up the green card for Maryland. So a minute of a player advantage for Rutgers here to continue to push that lead perhaps. feed into the middle, and running into a bit of trouble there was Chiarella. And Maryland comes up with the ball. And again, a fight for possession in midfield is scooped up by Rutgers, pursued by Clevenger. Oh, Clevenger making life very difficult for Rutgers to advance the ball forward.
And Brendan, we talked about it at the beginning of the game, the green card, how it's changed the redefend. That's why it's so pivotal for attacks to redefend, because it helps slow the ball down. That way teams aren't just running from one sideline to the other.
And teams back to even strength now as Peduzzi trots out in place of Lubecker, with the Terps back on defense. Rutgers in absolutely no hurry as we tick down towards the end of the first quarter. They would love to go into the break with a lead like this over Maryland. Here is Spillis, who's working on a hat trick here in the first quarter. 60 seconds left, and there it is! Spillis, a first quarter hat trick! And they're going to issue a yellow card as well. A 2-minute releasable yellow card issued to Maddie Sterling for a cross-check in that.
See right here, Spillis with the dodge, outside, shoots it, and she's pushed at the end by Sterling. You see right there, she comes up underneath her arm with her stick horizontal, automatically is going to be a yellow card. You see Spillis actually looks like she got the wind knocked out of her a little bit.
But she is up and trotting back as she has completed a first quarter hat trick to give the 6th-seeded Rutgers a 4-1 advantage over 3rd-seeded Maryland.
And I mean, we talked about it beginning of the game. She is the ringleader for the Scarlet Knights, and she's clearly proving that to be true. And Maryland needs to find an answer on how to stop her so that not every quarter she's getting a hat trick, because that's going to put Maryland in a deep hole.
And with that yellow card being issued, we pick things up, not with the draw, but possession for Rutgers. So a chance with about 50 seconds left to maybe tack on another. 3-goal lead for Rutgers that Melissa Lehman in her 5th season will be delighted about. Here is Teeny. And that one eventually scooped up by Chiarella. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Dever. And Chiarella again not able to collect that one cleanly. Here's Teeny. 15 seconds. Behind the cage now. Pass to the middle, inside, save by Sterling. And Sterling is down.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
There's Dixon once more. Over to the left for Spillis. Already completed that first quarter hat trick. And will be patient offense for Rutgers here. And a whistle called. It's a 3-second call. So again, another error by Maryland's defense, and Dixon will have the free position from the far side. Hammerschlag has faced one, saved one since coming in. And lost the stick there, a bit unconventional. And eventually, Hammerschlag will trap that one under the stick and relieve the pressure for the Terrapins. And they're going to get the whistle against Dixon as well. She was competing a bit too much. So now the Terps come down the other end. Here's Ahern. And a very quick whistle. And So it is going to be a green card issued here. This will be to Michelle Warren. So another player up opportunity for the Terrapins. So Ahern will restart for Maryland at the top, elects to go left. Now Edmondson. Did you see what the green card was for?
I did
It
not
happened real
see.
fast and maybe off the ball.
It did. My thought is maybe offsides, but the officials did not indicate what the green card was for.
So Lubecker, who weaseled her way through traffic, fires off a shot. And they're going to make Lauren LaPointe use a different ball here to get things going. A freshman out of Glenelg, Maryland. Only had her first career goal in a game against Hopkins earlier on, but had a hat trick in that day, bursting onto the scene. And talking to Kathy Reese, said we'll be seeing more of the freshman down the stretch as she's really grown into her role in her first year in College Park. And delayed flag coming. Here's May over to the left. And then that call comes.
So originally it was a 3-second call. That's why the flag went up. Then May obviously drew the shooting space call as well. So she will be on the second hash.
Libby May. Scoreless so far today. Bounces that one wide. Not sure if Cardello got anything on that or if it just missed the cage, but Maryland maintains possession. Here's Clevenger. Feeds into the middle. May tried to pull it down, and there is a whistle. Just when Rutgers thought they might be able to escape the Terrapin pressure. It's called back once more, and May will have another free position opportunity. Get a look here.
Replay, Clevenger able to find May, and you can see a May stick gets caught in the Rutgers defender.
And May jumped the gun a little bit. And the referee's claiming blame for that one. So dead center, May fires it in. Bringing Maryland within one, Libby May. 27 goals on the season, and the Terps needed that one.
And we'll see the replay here in just a second. May from center hash, taking advantage of the 8-meter. A quick bounce shot to the bottom left corner, where I'm assuming she was trying to go on the last shot. Missed it a little wide, but second time's the charm for May.
Including that one a moment ago, May had missed 8 of her 9 free position opportunities this season and buries that one from dead center. So as expected, we have a ball game in College Park. Spillis and Ahern battling it out. Spillis yet to register a control on the draw today. Again, she needs 5 to pass new Terrapin Megan Ball for all-time in program history. And there's Ahern once more. On a day where she passes 400, she can do no wrong. 7-1 Maryland's advantage in controlling the draw. So the Terps a chance to tie the game on this possession. Edmondson. Now May, the most recent goal scorer for the Terps. Thomas tiptoeing the crease. May jockeying for position inside. Now Thomas takes it all the way over to the right. Kicks things into gear herself. Passes into the middle. The low shot. Flashes over the top from May once more, backed up by the Terrapins. Fed all the way over to the far side, and Kate Seitz will have to try to chase this one down, and Maryland won't be able to do so. It goes back to Rutgers on the far side. Not an ideal offensive possession for Maryland with a chance to tie that, goal tally and continue that momentum.
Yeah, it looked like Clevenger was trying to hit a cutting May and just weren't able to connect on the pass.
So Rutgers comes down the other end, scoreless here in the second so far. Terps have 2, and pulled them back into this one. Flip pass here. Spillis almost made her way through, but there was a whistle and another card issued, this time a yellow. Leave to Shannon Smith, perhaps. or Kennedy Major it will be.
And you'll see the replay right here. Major trying to get in front of the flip with the cross check to the head. Definitely a yellow card there. And Major will now be out for the 2 minutes.
A yellow card every day of the week and twice on Saturday. Through traffic and a big-time stop by Maryland's defense that the Terps really needed. Hammerschlag has come in and done well, but Maryland in transition. Brianna Lamoureux coughed that one up, and the Scarlet Knights track back the other way. It was indeed a save for Hammerschlag there.
We'll see the replay right there. Hammerschlag just completely stepping in front and meeting Spillis to stop the goal.
So we will head to a timeout here in College Park. It's a 1-goal game between Rutgers and Maryland. You're watching Big Ten tournament action on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Teeny inside, and a bit of confusion there as there was some kind of horn sounded as that play was going.
And you saw the Maryland players stop when they heard the horn.
Right.
Why they now think the goal should be taken back. Rutgers trying to argue that it should stand.
And so unsure what happened on that play. As there was a horn that sounded, and both teams making pretty fair claims. And it looks like they're going to redo it. Under 5 to play. So Teeny from the right-sided hash mark. Sterling back in. 15 seconds on the possession clock for Rutgers. The officials will come together once again right in front of us. I do always find it funny when something like that happens and the official at midfield turns around and looks at us like we have something to do with the horn. We're just up here shouting the last names. We're going to take another look at what happened here quickly before they do this one more time.
So on the first hash, you see Maryland players start to stop from the opposite side. It wasn't Ball that stopped, but the players on the opposite side coming for the crash stop. You see Spillis very annoyed that it didn't count.
And so Teeny will try one more time, hopefully in perfect silence. She lines up on that left hand. And so they're going to reset the game clock here as well. And eventually we will play lacrosse again. And they're going to put 17 seconds on the possession clock. So we've crossed our T's and dotted our I's. We're going the wrong way. We're up to 73 seconds. And we may have to scroll all the way back down. So stick with us, folks, as this will be a riveting countdown you can see there at the top of your screen. We'll see it one more time here just because this is a pretty crucial moment in this contest. We are at 17 seconds now.
So right there, Teeny going in, able to move Sterling out of the way and score, but even Sterling after the play said there was a horn.
So with everything squared away, Teeny comes inside and it stays out. Oh my, what a big moment in this game. An unfortunate one, nonetheless, but it stays out. And the Maryland bench questioning why that shot clock reset. Because it was ticking down to 5, and it doesn't look like they're going to have their questions answered. Here's Teeny once more, a flag up, and just a couple moments of chaos here in this game. Kathy Reese protesting that the Rutgers player didn't even shoot, so how could that in fact be reset? But we've seen this one before. Teeny from the right-sided hash mark. And again, the play broken up. Still loose on the ground, kept out. Looked like it almost rolled across the goal line, but desperate defending from Maryland and Sterling.
Right there, you saw Sterling and Peduzzi diving in to make sure the ball did not go into the goal.
And so the protests have coming much faster here in the past couple minutes as we will have another card issued, and this game's getting a little intense. Not that it wasn't already. And so we're going to have a yellow card issued here to Toth for Rutgers. And so Maryland, a player up opportunity here as we tick down under 4 minutes left in the second quarter. Maryland leads the scoring in this one 2-1, but still trail by 2 to the 6th-seeded Rutgers Scarlet Knights. Terps got the better of the visitors earlier on this season on this same field, and Rutgers have been doing everything in their power to prevent a repeat. Here's May for Maryland. Had over a half of that green card. Here's Smith now. Edmondson. Up top for a little point. Behind the cage now, Maryland operating. Clevenger kicks things into gear herself. Runs into some trouble. Tries to get a bit of space, and that one's off the stick of Cardello again. Clevenger found a little bit of room to get off a shot, but it was matched by the Rutgers goalie.
I mean, and Clevenger was surrounded. She had 3 defenders on her. We'll see a replay right there. 3 defenders able to get her stick loose, but Cardello there to stop it.
And the Scarlet Knights have moved quickly down the other end of the field. Cardello up to 7 saves in this game already. Haven't even played half of it. Everything pretty level. Maryland 14 shots to Rutgers 13, 11 on goal to Rutgers to Maryland's 10. 7 saves for Rutgers, 6 for Maryland. Very hard to find the margin between these two teams as we approach 2 minutes left to go in the half. Here's Michelle Warren. Now Teeny, 30 seconds on the possession clock. Over to the left side, and a shooting space call coming. That was Alexa Corbin once more. Corbin, the junior midfielder, 12 goals this season coming into this one. Scoreless here today. And that one is kept out by Sterling. Back from injury and not missing a step, the Maryland netminder right back into the action. And here come the Terrapins. A great check from behind from Spillis. But it stays with Maryland. Lou Becker coming inside, forced back around behind the cage. A frantic finish to this second quarter. Rutgers still leading by 2. Here's Seitz behind the cage. Thomas now. Here's the younger Clevenger Maisie into the game. Off to Thomas. Trying to find a bit of space inside, can't do so. Pass off to May, low shot, a whistle came, and it will be Rutgers' ball coming out of the back.
Right there, since May shot the ball before the flag could be called, Rutgers then had possession. It's their ball. It's like turning it over, for instance.
So 50 seconds left in this second quarter. Rutgers can hold for the final shot of this half. And with the frantic end to this one, you wouldn't blame them for doing so.
Right now, Maryland's defense really needs to lock down. They don't want Rutgers getting off another shot before going into the half.
Flip pass to Spillis. All the way up top to Teeny. Defended by Major. And back on the left hand. Feeds to the far side. Corbin accelerating. Low shot flashes wide. And with 5 seconds to go, that will just about do it here. We are going to have a whistle with 1 second left on the clock, and there's the horn. That sends us into halftime. It couldn't be easy, could it? But it hasn't been for Rutgers or Maryland. A 2-goal lead for the Scarlet Knights at halftime.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
A new possession clock as well. The onslaught continues. Eloise Clevenger lost it trying to switch over. Now May, double team forced back out. Clevenger again, inside on the right hand. Likes to keep it in the stick of Thomas. 30 seconds for the Terps to work with. Great tight defense here by Rutgers, but down to the turf, and another save. Cardello, after the Rutgers defender went down to the turf, it seemed like Thomas had to score.
I mean, Cardello, we've said it all game. She's been phenomenal for the Scarlet Knights. She is keeping Maryland out of this game right now, not allowing them to pick away at Rutgers' lead.
10 saves now. 2 away from her season high. There's still a lot of lacrosse left to be played. Yet to have a goal here in the third quarter, but it hasn't been without its moments. Up top to Teeny. Knocked out of her stick, but there's a whistle, and it's an offensive foul called against Rutgers. The Terps will bring it the other way.
Great defense right there from Megan Ball, getting the charge call and giving her team another opportunity to look to score.
Coming all the way through is Maddie Sterling, and Clevenger had to do a couple drop steps to keep that one under her control eventually. Words of praise from the Maryland bench as Maddie Sterling comes off after that fantastic run to get the Terps in a dangerous position. Here's Thomas. Again, trying to operate onto that left hand. Does so. Another save. 11 for those keeping count at home. Cardello one away from a season high. And it seems like Maryland just cannot beat Cardello. Long pass down the other side. Great transition play here by Rutgers. It was Spillis who was barreling down on Cage, but likes to keep possession with a 2-goal advantage. Patient offense by Rutgers. Penn State awaits the winner of this game in the Big Ten Tournament semifinal. Pass all the way over to the far side. Corbin will run it down and keeps it in. Former teammate Megan Ball doing the defending on that far side. Here's Dever. 30 seconds on that possession clock. Dever in no rush. Run from Dixon on the inside, but Dever brings it over to the left. Up top. Great move onto the left hand. Forced back behind the cage. That was Chiarella. And Rutgers on the doorstep. And they're not going to call the goal. So the celebrations cease. And Maryland comes the other way. We'll catch up on that in a minute. Here comes Nevo Farrell. Maryland breaking down the other end. Lubecker now working inside, spinning, and forced back out. Can't take your eyes off this one for a moment here. Here's Shannon Smith. Here's LaPointe, the freshman. Over to the far side. Maryland takes a breath and gets set. Here's Corey Edmondson out of McDonough High School, coached by Maryland great Taylor Cummings. And a shooting space call coming. That was May on the far side. We're going to take a look back at what transpired on the other end of the field.
And right here, you just see phenomenal defense by Maryland, cutting off Cassidy Spillis and forcing the charge goal. Great job by Ahern coming around the crease to meet Spillis.
So Spillis, who is on 3 goals but hasn't gotten one since the first quarter. We're going to have a green card issued here. So I think it was a green card issued for too many players on the field for Maryland. They said one needs to come off and another as well.
Kathy Reese now questioning the call on the sideline, trying to figure out what's going on.
Looks like they might be saying there's no card now. No, they are. They're saying a player does need to come and sit. It'll be Lauren LaPointe who's the victim here. And so that will be 1 minute for LaPointe. And so what turned from a very good opportunity for Maryland switches back in favor of Rutgers as they will restart from deep in their own half.
And just to clarify, for any confusion, Maryland was called for being offsides, automatically a turnover, so the 8-meter shot does not happen, and they were issued a green card.
And we're going to have some more whistles here. And it's going to be offside call on Shea Ahern. So another green card and a golden opportunity for Rutgers here. Still 47 seconds left on LaPointe's.
And so what happened there, because an attacker for Maryland took the green card, one of the midfielders needed to hold back. Miscommunication by Maryland there, forcing another offsides call.
That's one of those from bad to worse moments. So Rutgers gets things back underway. 2 players up. Here's Dever. Now Corbin. Comes around to the near side. Now fed into the middle. Broken up. And who else but Megan Ball, former Rutgers Scarlet Knight. Shattering the advantage of her former teammates, and Ball will just play keep away here. What a massive play.
Great job by Ball. Rutgers looking to find Cassidy Spillis, checked away, and Ball comes up with the ground ball to save the Terps from another goal.
So LaPointe's green card has expired, and now Maryland is only 1 player down. And now the second one expires as well. We're back to even strength, but not before we have a timeout called by Maryland. Kathy Reese will talk it over here. What has been a wild, yet somehow scoreless third quarter. We will step aside. You're watching Big Ten Tournament quarterfinal action between Rutgers and Maryland on Big Ten Plus.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Of the Terrapins. And we're receiving word that the Hopkins-Michigan game on the other part of this bracket is headed to overtime. So tight games all the way around. We talked about that other one between Penn State and Ohio State that ended 15-3. And what was a nail-biting finish as well. The teams trading leads. 4 goals through Gretchen Gilmore and Emma Kelly led the Nittany Lions to victory.
And Brennan, we've said it throughout this game, no team is willing to lose right now, and that's why these quarterfinal games are so tight, because this year, women's lacrosse has never been this competitive.
Frankly, it hasn't made sense in the most fun way possible. Everybody's beating everybody. You can't even try to begin to figure this kind of stuff out.
I mean, how many times have the coaches pulled change on who's first? Because you never know.
And we're going to have another close one here. Tied at 5, 3.5 to go in the third. Maryland searching for their first lead of the day. and it skims wide. The shot coming in from Lubecker. Thomas, after her first goal, has 30 seconds on the possession clock. And we can confirm it's getting a little sunny. Here's Clevenger, 18 on the possession clock. Passes off. Thomas again. That one goes behind. It will stay with Maryland.
And Brendan, Maryland's offense is so much more fluid. You can see them moving the ball so much easier, and that's why they're finding success.
8 seconds on the possession clock, and May passes that right into the stick of Cardello. And so now Rutgers, and feels like it's been a little while since they've had a true offensive possession, and we're going to have another timeout here. This one called by Rutgers, so we will step aside as well. 5-5 between Rutgers and Maryland. Don't go anywhere. You're watching quarterfinal action on Big Ten Plus. So we pick things up with Rutgers in possession. Even strength, 2.5 to go here in the third quarter of action. 2 goals in this third quarter, both in favor of the Terrapins. Feed into the middle, and another one! This time coming in, the 4th for Cassidy Spillis. Rutgers not wasting any time to restore the lead.
And we'll see a replay of that in just a second. Great job by Spillis, though. You'll see right here, cutting stick, reaching for it, a quick shot right past Sterling. One more time in slow motion, you see Spillis getting her stick and arm free to make the goal.
So Maryland unable to get their first lead of the day, having tied it up. Cassidy Spillis spoiling the party. As we said, 4th goal today, 72 on the season. There's a reason we talked about her in the open. And you saw just to the left of her in that frame a moment ago, Megan Ball, who we also talked about, who's also had a great game. Nobody's really had a bad game when you think about it, which is making for phenomenal entertainment. And the violation against Rutgers will be Maryland ball coming the other way. We talked about Ava Kane in there instead of Spillis. And really hasn't changed too much for Rutgers in that column. Terps leading 10-3 in draw controls.
I mean, Maryland's draw unit, second to none.
Yeah.
They have Ball on there, they have Ahern, they have Smith. All 3 constantly contributing on every single draw. And that's why they're dominating in the circle.
Here's Thomas. Feeds to the back post. It's kept out again. Clevenger was crashing at the back door. And it might just have been Cardello once more. Always tough to tell with shots from that close range. It just might have been, and if it is, it's a tie for her season high. This one again loose on the ground, scooped up by the Scarlet Knights. It is credited a save to Sophia Cardello, bringing her up to 12 on the day. As we tick down to a minute left here in the third quarter, and a giveaway by the Scarlet Knights. As soon as we start looking to our left, we head back to our right. Kennedy Major driving forward as she's done so many times today. And we'll elect to pass it off to Shaylin Ahern. First team all Big Ten selection. Talked about and saw that fantastic graphic of how many Terrapins have received individual honors this season. Asking Kathy Reese about it the other day, she said, that's all good and well, but each and every one of them will tell you that it's been a team collective effort to get those accolades. Thomas rounds the corner on the left hand, and another tie ball game. Chrissy Thomas, her second of the day. We're tied at 6 with seconds to go in the third quarter.
And you'll see the replay right here. Thomas is not stopping, able to finally get around her defender, and the bounce shot past Cardello all the way around to the opposite side of the crease. Thomas was getting that goal. See her celebrating with her teammates afterwards. Chrissy Thomas has been instrumental in Maryland coming back in this game.
Well, we talked about the numbers that Chrissy Thomas has been putting up in the last couple of games, and talking to her the other day, I asked her, what have you been focusing on? What has kind of led to this shift where all of a sudden you're getting so much production? And she said, really, I'm kind of just trying to go out there and have fun. And it is clear to see. She said she was talking about trying to focus on keeping her feet moving, because if her feet aren't moving, her brain's moving. And that's when you start to overthink things, and play doesn't necessarily go your way. But the fun and freedom showing for Chrissy Thomas with 2 on the day, knotting us up at 6. Shea Ahern almost had it. And it's the 3rd player in the draw circle for Rutgers today, but more on that later. Actually, Madison Grady, just while we have a moment to catch our breath. 4 seconds to go. And that will send us into a break. And, that was good. We talked about how there hadn't been any goals for about 15 minutes, and then this game explodes with 4. 3 in favor of the Maryland Terrapins to tie us up at 6. And we head back to the draw circle. As we said, it is a 3rd player in there for Rutgers today in Madison Grady. Still facing off against Shea Ahern.
Sorry to go off there, but I mean, Rutgers really trying to find an answer for Shaylin Ahern, trying to stop Maryland from winning draw control after draw control.
So 15 minutes of action and perhaps more. And we do have a winner in Ann Arbor. It's the visiting Johns Hopkins Blue Jays through a goal from Bailey Cheatham. And again, Penn State awaits the winner between Maryland and Rutgers. Here's Haley Russo. Back out to Smith. Russo now. Rutgers player fell down to the ground. Russo trying to get an inch of space. A backhanded shot goes wide and will eventually be cleaned up by the Scarlet Knights. Striding forward, Rutgers. Attacking left to right here in this 4th quarter. There's Corbin. Over to Teeny. Dever behind the cage. Here's Ava Kane. Dixon up top to Spillis. Now the Scarlet Knights look to kick things into gear, but it's coughed up, scooped up by Maryland. Once again, Sophie Hallis having a great day for the Terrapins.
Great defense right there by Sophia Hallis. Fully just getting in front of her attacker, forced her to drop the ball, and her and Kennedy Majors there to get the ground ball and pick it up.
And here is Major striding forward. Maryland working behind the cage. Chrissy Thomas, who has 2. Fires the pass all the way out to the near side for Kate Seitz. Thomas feeds into the middle of the shot. The goal! Tori Hench gives Maryland their first lead of the day. quick as a flash, Maryland leads 7-6, courtesy of one Victoria Hench.
And right there, watching the play, we're going to see a replay of it in a second. Right here, Victoria Hench creeping. She finds the open gap, able to finish on the shot. Beautiful ball movement right there. The jump shot from Victoria Hench to give Maryland the lead.
And the assist coming from Chrissy Thomas, who continues to do no wrong in a Maryland uniform. 12th goal of the campaign for Victoria Hench.
And Brendan, we've kind of seen, I talked about how Maryland's offense has become a lot more fluid. We see them moving the ball a lot more. One thing they've changed is they're now only putting one player really behind the cage, allowing them to move back and forth. And they found success with it, now being able to connect on those feeding passes inside.
And you saw at the top of your screen there again, Maryland's first lead of the day. It comes in the fourth quarter of action in the Big Ten tournament quarterfinal game. And this one will be scooped up by Rutgers. Looking for a response. Teeny wraps back around the cage. Now passes up, and Dever. Always going to be a tough one trying to get it bouncing off this turf. And when you talk about the turf, the Maryland Field Hockey and Lacrosse Complex has a bit of an unconventional surface in which they play on. And just talking to players both home and away over the years, it is a significant advantage for the home team. Getting used to this turf that it's basically like that, really, it feels like the cheap layer of carpet you would get at Home Depot that's kind of scratchy and things like that. There's obviously a lot more technical aspects to a athletics playing surface, but it's different than your normal AstroTurf.
Well, one thing you have to take note of, field hockey is played here. They have to be able to have the ball roll on the surface. So, like you mentioned, Brendan, it bounces a lot more than a normal lacrosse field that has normal turf.
Hasn't seemed to phase Rutgers much today. They did play here in late March. They came up on the short end of that one, but hanging right with Maryland here, led for most of this game. Stays with the Scarlet Knights, 20 seconds on the possession clock. Or it will reset there, excuse me. Feed there, that one flashes across the face of Sterling's goal.
And on that last one, you saw the Rutgers players calling for the restart of the shot clock after the shot.
All the way up top to Corbin. Trying to get the better of Major. Pass behind. Now Teeny. Lamoureux defending, around and in. It sneaks past Sterling, and we are tied at 7 between Maryland and Rutgers. Bit of an anticlimactic finish, but they all count the same, especially when you get to do or die time like this. We'll have to take another look at how that one did just get past Sterling. But again, another goal for Teeny.
See right here, Teeny coming in, makes the dodge against Lamoureux, undercuts her, gets underneath. You see ball slide over, a quick shot on the right goal post. Like you said, Brendan, very quick, almost a little anticlimactic. I think people were unsure if it had actually gone in, but Teeny comes up with the goal, her second of the day.
And we were also directly behind it, so it just kind of went straight, and you don't actually see how much power was behind that shot until you get that side angle view. Great job by our replay team and camera operators getting a good look at that one. So we're back in the draw circle, 7 apiece. Still Shea Ahern in there. Ava Kane has gone back in after they tried out Madison Grady. And Smith scoops that one up. Shannon Smith might not have a goal or assist to her name, but she has 4 draw controls following that one, making it her 9th game of the season with 4 or more. Here's Kate Seitz. Knocked out of her stick and eventually scooped up by Jessica Beneducci, the defensive leader for Rutgers.
And
so this will be Rutgers ball all the way down to our left.
Looked like for a second Maryland had a great redefend, actually forcing a turnover. Chrissy Thomas to pick up the ground ball, but a foul was called against Maryland.
Spillis, a diagonal pass to the far side for Corbin. Here's Michaela Dever. Now Teeny. Sometimes it's tough to remember that she's a freshman. How active and involved Teeny is in this game. Certainly a standout in the conference. Corbin the shot. Sterling got to stick to it. You can see Sterling even after that. Looking at that leg, a good stick there. You can see her just kind of limp a little bit, but she's been stellar since coming back in. It's a new possession clock for Rutgers. Teeny passes back behind the goal. Feed into the middle on the doorstep and applying the finish. Ava Kane, and Rutgers is back in the lead. First goal of the day for Ava Kane, and it comes at a crucial time to put Rutgers back in the driving seat.
You see it right there to Kane. Kane, fake central, multiple fakes to get past Sterling, who was right in front of her. See the celebration afterwards. She is fired up and ready to take her team forward in this game.
10th of the season for Kane. She had another one in the first fixture between these two teams back in March, but she's not shy to score against Maryland. She heads back to the draw circle. Talked a lot about that game last year in the semifinals between Maryland and Rutgers. Ava Kane had a hat trick as a freshman. Still wasn't enough for the Scarlet Knights to get the better of the Terrapins, but she just did a lot to maybe change that this time around. Maryland still leading the draw circle 13-4. Very comfortable one that time by Megan Ball. So Edmondson, Thomas, and Hench will stride out for Maryland. And very active movement from Lubecker, draws the whistle, and a card will come as well. A yellow card will be issued. This one to Emily Clothier. Check to the head there from Clothier, and it'll be a 2-minute yellow card. So Maryland in pole position, tie this one back up.
And you saw when the check was made, Hannah Lubecker quickly grabbing the top of her head, saying she was hit in the head with the check.
Here is Lubecker. That yellow card. Edmondson, Lubecker. Back to Edmondson. Tic-tac-toe from the Terrapins. Clevenger, Edmondson. Dip of the shoulder. Right hand forced back out. Patience, a virtue for Maryland. There's May. Didn't have any room to do much with the possession. Here's Edmondson. Plenty of time for the Terps to work with on this possession clock. Here's Thomas. El Clevenger. Back to Thomas. Smith fires. And another save. Have a day, Sophia Cardello. A new season high for the senior goalie. 13 on the afternoon.
I mean, Cardello has just been an anchor for Rutgers defense. Any shots Maryland's getting off, Cardello has been there. not allowing many. Maryland right now only with 7 goals. Most games they've been scoring over 10.
As Rutgers was trying to wear down that yellow card, the movement right in front of Cardello looked like the Globetrotters weave with all the players making different cutting runs just to try to get a couple more seconds to tick off of this. We do have a whistle by the referee in the near side corner. Kathy Reese saying it should be Maryland ball. And we are going to have a timeout here with Rutgers an 8-7 lead over Maryland. We will step aside, but this one's going to come right down to the wire. So we pick things up with Rutgers in possession, a 1-goal lead over Maryland. Under 6 to play here in the fourth quarter. 4 seconds on the possession clock. Rutgers needs to do something, and they can't. So a turnover back to the Terrapins.
Great job right there by Maryland's defense, taking advantage of little time left on the shot clock to get themselves a look to try to tie this game.
Long pass forward. A dime it is into the stick of Nevo Farrell. It's it off to Aiden Peduzzi. But it's scooped up by Rutgers. Corbin, who has been a nuisance in the best way possible. But that one's knocked loose as we ping-pong possession back and forth. Here comes Hallis. Gets it over to Lubecker. Can't take your eyes off this one for a moment. Under 5 minutes left here in the fourth. The Terps trailing by a goal. There are certainly goals left in this game. Lubecker draws the double team and draws the whistle.
Not exactly sure what the foul was, but Lubecker will be on the first hash on the left side.
So Lubecker from the left side hash mark. This is where she has her 1 goal today so far. And that one sails just left of the uprights. Still just the 1 goal for Hannah Lubecker today, the leading goal scorer for the Terrapins. Rutgers has done a fantastic job of limiting her involvement. She's gotten touches, but hasn't gotten looks at cage. That one's knocked out. Two of the top offensive powerhouses going toe-to-toe there. Cassidy Spillis getting it done on both ends of the field.
And I mean, that was a hard check by Cassidy Spillis, fully knocking the ball out of Lubecker's stick, turning it the opposite way for Rutgers.
Here come the Scarlet Knights. Michaela Dever. Rutgers in no rush whatsoever. Keeping it in the stick of Peyton Tinney. 2 goals in the last game at Vermont and that 1 goal loss. And you look at Rutgers, a lot of those games have been pretty tight contests. Four of their last 5 have been decided by 3 goals or fewer, which the way this season has gone is pretty remarkable. Here's Lily Dixon from Kent Island High School. Maryland native, plying her trade for Rutgers. Bit of a homecoming. And there it is, a homecoming goal for Lily Dixon. First of the day and a 2-goal lead for Rutgers.
Right there we see the replay. Lily Dixon dodges Major, able to get it in. She falls in the crease, though, For a second, it looked like the goal was not going to count, but the officials kept it good right there again. Looks like they're saying she was pushed in by Major.
It definitely did look like her foot was on that line of the crease, but bang, bang plays, and nonetheless, Rutgers has a 2-goal lead. 13th goal this year for Dixon, sophomore out of Graysonville, Maryland. Referees are holding play.
Rutgers originally had too many players on the field, so the officials held play to adjust that.
Maryland has controlled 14 draws to Rutgers 4. Normally when you win the draw circle, you have an offensive advantage. And despite Maryland's dominance in that column, that continues there through Shea Ahern. A fairly even contest. A lot of that credit to Sophia Cardello. 13 saves in the Rutgers cage, and a lot of contact there and a whistle.
Check there was from Cassidy Spillis. Looks like it was an across-the-body check. We'll see a replay right here. Kennedy Major trying to go over the restraining line. You see the check come, and you see her actually hit Major's wrist, causing Major to lose her balance. And it's going to be Maryland ball.
No card issued on that play. This is Elle Clevenger to Hannah Lubecker. Do or die time for the Terps as we approach 2 minutes left in this one. A date with Penn State on the line. A low shot, and Lubecker scores. A crucial goal for the Maryland Terrapins from a crucial player in Hannah Lubecker. Maryland's leading goal scorer brings this one within one.
And you'll see the replay right here. Lubecker left open, drops her stick low, right in to the left corner of the goal past Cardello. Talk about the power behind Hannah Lubecker's shot. And Brendan, you just said it's do or die. Well, Hannah Lubecker answered that, bringing her team within one.
Second goal of the day for Lubecker. She's had 8 shots, so you can't say she hasn't been trying. Cardello has been absolutely stellar in between the pipes for Rutgers, but Maryland attacker from Forest Hill, Maryland, able to get the better there. And Lubecker's now scored in 17 straight games for the Maryland Terrapins, with the 2 she's had today. A fairly comfortable win for Rutgers, a rare win at that, but at a pivotal time of this game. And there are some whistles out there. Clock is still running. So Rutgers, as we're under 2 minutes to play. A goal here could seal it for the Scarlet Knights. Spillis behind the cage. No hurry necessary. Now Spillis raises her gaze and thinks about moving things into action here. We have a minute to go. And 30 seconds left on the clock, possession clock for Rutgers.
Right now, it's really important for Maryland's defense. They don't let any of these cutters get through. That's what Spillis is looking for, someone to hand it off to.
Spillis through traffic, runs into trouble, and a whistle. It's Maryland ball with 35 seconds to go. Terps going quickly. Here's May. Libby May on the right hand, forced over, tough angle. Now Thomas into the middle. Lubecker saved. Cardello again. A big time stop. 14 on the day. From point blank range, and she might have just sent Rutgers through to the semifinals. Here we go. Far side for Clevenger. Time ticking down. Lubecker switches to her right. Escapes, saved! Sophia Cardello at the death. Redemption for Rutgers. The Scarlet Knights take down the Terrapins for only the second time in history. The upset in the Big Ten tournament quarterfinal.